Hello, I am Chandu Nair, handling marketing management, and now we will talk about marketing planning. Marketing planning, as indeed is any kind of planning, is essential for any organization in order to achieve its stated objectives. So let's see what this chapter contains. At the end of this chapter, you will be able to understand the importance of corporate planning and business unit level planning. I will explain to you what a business unit is also, the nature and characteristics of marketing planning, strategic business units and how to evaluate these strategic business units and their performance, the marketing planning appraisal and the generic strategy, and finally, the nature and content of a marketing plan. Now, there are various types of marketing plans, and many of them have a very strong linkage to the overall corporate plan. So, you have strategic plans which are usually for a 5-year period typically. Many Japanese organizations in fact even look much longer, they even look at things for a 20-year period. So, there are organizations even in India which look at a much larger horizon, but then fit it into shorter term periods. Then you have tactical plans which are typically for the year ahead. For example, right now in the month of April, we might be looking at plans for the whole year, financial year April 2011 to March 2012. And thirdly, contingency plans, because many times things don't go the way you planned. So always you need a plan B. What if certain things don't work? So you have these three broad types of plans. Now, why is planning important, and especially in the marketing context? One always assumes certain kinds of situations, certain types of eventualities. So based on that, if all of us in an organization are on the same page, have a certain similar kind of understanding, it helps to avoid future uncertainties, because there's clarity on what kind of assumptions we are making, what kind of situations we are expecting, and how to combat those situations. Second, it helps in management by objective. If all of us within the organization are aligned towards the same common goals, there is clarity of purpose and clarity of execution. Thirdly, it helps in achieving the objectives itself, the organization's overall financial and other kinds of objectives, which are then translated into marketing objectives. It also helps in better coordination and communication. Like I mentioned before, clarity of purpose, clarity of thought, and clarity of execution and common purpose helps in reducing any friction, any tension, any ambiguity on a day-to-day basis. Fourthly, it helps in monitoring, review and control. And fifthly, it also finally helps the most important person for an organization, the customers, in getting complete satisfaction. So as I mentioned earlier, many plans are made not just with different time horizons in mind, but also with different organization structures in mind. For example, if you take a very large group like the Tatas, they may have a business plan for the entire Tata group. They may have then plans for the individual constituents of the groups. For example, Indian Hotels might have a very detailed plan. The Tata Teleservices company might have a very different plan, and Telco, the truck business, might have a very different plan. So if you take even a big organization like the Telco, which is into trucking and many other businesses, in truck manufacturing and many other businesses, first and foremost at the very high level, what exactly is the company's mission? How do we organize the business? I'm sure Telco must have thought many times before it introduced something like the Nano and how it fits into the overall corporate plan. At the middle level, which is more at the business unit level, which is there might be different divisions for trucks. Even within trucks there might be LCVs, that is the low commercial vehicles, and the HCV, which is the heavy commercial vehicles. So you might find different business units out there, and for each business unit there might be a different plan. So what is our competitive strategy for growth in that particular business unit, and what are our competitive advantages in each of those units? So those are the kind of questions that they will be looking to address. And lower level of management, which are more operational plans. How can we support both the above plans, the corporate overall company related plan and our division. For example, if I belong to the LCV or the light commercial vehicle division, what is it that I as a lower level manager can do to help achieve my divisional objectives? What are my operational schedules? Various kinds of aspects out here. It could be promotional schedules, it could be any other thing. So, in order for us to do a better job, it's important to know which level we operate in and what is the marketing planning process. So, if you take the corporate plan, which is at the very highest level, the first and very important thing is to establish the corporate mission along with the vision, the objectives and the goals. This is typically a very important exercise, and the vision and mission of the organization, in many companies you might see it even emblazoned on posters and many other insignia of the company all over the place, because it's very vital that this purpose is clearly communicated and firmly established in the minds of all employees. Second is to establish strategic business units. There must be a rationale why a company decides to have a separate, say, LCV unit, that is a light commercial vehicle unit, or a heavy commercial vehicle unit, or a passenger car unit, or any other kind of unit. Now, there are different ways to do it. How you establish each such strategic business unit determines how you allocate resources, how you manage, how you plan for each such business. Thirdly is assigning the actual resources to such SBUs, strategic business units. And fourthly, how do you plan for growth, revenues, profits, any other key parameters that you choose. Now, the mission statement is usually a very involved exercise. Many places you might find that they just do lip service and use a bunch of very nice sounding words. But if a company is truly customer focused and also has larger interests in mind, it takes a considerable amount of time and energy to develop what its mission as a company is. So, it tries to get answers to the following questions. First and foremost, what is my business? Am I, for example, in the business of just light commercial vehicles, or am I in the larger business of transportation? Mind you, transportation does not just include road transportation, it might even include other kinds of transportation. Or am I a logistics company? So, depending on what Theodore Levitt said in his famous paper on marketing myopia, how you define your market and how you define your business is very vital in order for you to help craft your mission. Second, who is my customer? Like we saw, customers can play different roles. Is the customer the one who pays and buys the vehicle, or the one who finances and pays for the vehicle, or the one who uses the vehicle? Who is the key customer out here? Third, how does one understand what value is to the customer and how much of value am I delivering to the customer? Fourthly, looking ahead futuristically, what exactly will my business be? Do I have a dream, a vision for it? And fifthly, what exactly should our business be? Now, many times a lot of companies try to figure out where exactly they should be and what exactly they should do. You have many companies which today don't exist, for example, and many businesses and products too which don't exist. Today, many students will not understand that there was a product called a telex machine or a cyclostyle machine or even a typewriter, because these products today are hardly sold, forget about even seen.